Today to introduce both of our speakers. Mayor Alston is a lifelong resident of the city of Dallas. I guess except for what, 5 or was it 6 years you spent in Athens getting your degree?
I wish I had spent
6. Really? Boyd is the longest serving mayor in the city's history. He was first elected in 1995 and is presently completing his 4th term. Boyd is the dean of the elected officials in Paulding County. I guess that makes David the oldest.
Yeah. Smallest.
Okay. Boyd holds a seat on the boards of the Paulding County Airport Authority, Paulding County Industrial Building Authority. Boyd currently serves as chair of the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District. It's a big responsibility. As you know, Boyd's very active in our community. He's a member of First Baptist Church. He's a Shriner. But I guess what makes him so great is he's a Bulldog. With that, please give a warm welcome to Mayor Boyd Alston.
Ford said something about esteemed speakers, and Jack and I looked at each other and wondered who was actually going to talk today. I'm not one on prepared remarks and long, drawn-out speeches. I've made some notes, and I'll share with you some of the thoughts that I have, and then that way at the end, hopefully, we'll leave a little bit of time for questions if folks have them. But I'm very pleased to be here. I'm thankful for the Chamber, for the opportunity to come and talk about the city of Dallas and to hear what our sister city, Hiram, is doing. I think one of the unique things about our area in the state is that we get along very well. I'm actively involved in GMA, the Georgia Municipal Association, and I hear the horror stories of cities not getting along with one another or cities and counties not getting along, and we don't have that here. We can have a difference of opinion, but we move on and we do things together, and I think that's for the benefit of all of our citizens. I'm thankful to have a great council and staff. I know that Mayor Pro Tem Kelly, Councilmember White are here today. Miss Arnold had to go to a doctor's appointment. And I would ask you to keep in your prayers Kelly Carter, one of our council members, our longest serving council member, is very ill in the hospital. And if you will remember him and Teresa and their family in this time, that would improve. Also, earlier this year, we had a council member to retire, Bingo McTire, retired due to ill health after 18 years of service to the council, and that seat will be filled in the general election in November. We've done a lot of things in the past year with our staff. Our city clerk, Sarah Ruff, got her certification last month. It's a long, tedious process to achieve that, and I think she's the first city clerk in our history, and maybe in both cities, to receive their certification. They may receive them simultaneously. Our council is very active in GMA in the education process, and this year 3 council members received certificates of excellence for continuing education, having met at least 42 hours of continuing education, and that provides input and ideas and programs that help us to move forward with the city. We're not just out on our own, out on a limb trying to reinvent the wheel, but we take the best ideas from all around the state and that partnership with other cities and other elected officials to help bring new things to this county. I want the staff, if you will, all the members of the City of Dallas staff, please stand up. City Manager Kendall Smith, Finance Officer Sandra Lee, do everything, Lori Morris, Administrative Assistant. Tina Clark is our Public Works Director. Marlene Dodd runs our police communications. She's everything in the police department. Assistant Chief Michael Hester and our Chief Scott Hawker, they all do a fabulous job for the city. And we're very pleased that to have such a good staff, and we're working to improve that in the year to come. Recently, one of the things we did is received a health grant from our risk management services. and we're going to reward employees for the things they do to improve their health. I'm going to try to do it as well, but gym memberships and different programs to make a difference in their lives and their quality of life, but also it improves the bottom line for the city with better insurance rates and better experience. So we're moving forward in that direction. I guess the big question in everybody's mind in this day and time is the economy and our finances. Like every government, we have suffered. We had a $13 million decline in our tax digest, yet we've been able to keep the millage rate the same with no millage rate increase or no tax increase. We've been able to do that through a practice in the past of maintaining reserves sufficient to operate in bad times. We've had the cookie jar and we've been in it. But we understand that also that people everywhere face an economic crisis, and we don't feel like we can add any more to the burden of our taxpayers. Even through that process, and as the economy began to decline last year, for the first time we received a bond rating. We received a AA bond rating in our first attempt. And in these times, that says a lot about the financial management of the city. Never before had it been rated, and our bond counsel was quite surprised that in such a time that a city could achieve that high level of rating. So it speaks well of our past fiscal practices and what we continue to do. We have seen a little bit of an increase in our splost and lost collections. Those are local option sales taxes. Hopefully that's a trend that will continue. We talk about it being improved over last year, but that's not a very good measure. Our high water mark was probably fiscal year 2007, and so we're working to get back to those levels, but the state has seen it happen and we see it as well. Last year when I spoke to you, I told you that by all accounts and by every expert that we had dealt with, that local governments would lag about a year behind the private economy, and that seems to be holding true. I'm hoping that things will improve and that we can make things move forward. The other good point is that is we've not had to have any layoffs or furloughs. We've been able to maintain our staff to provide the services that our citizens demand without costing anything to our employees. And I appreciate their willingness to bide with us. We haven't been able to give raises, but we are looking to make sure that everybody keeps a job and keep them whole and keep their families where they can depend on us as we depend on them. In the area of public safety, we've completed an addition and a renovation to the police department. It's about $1 million project. It has taken the police department from a 1970s two-room building to a brand new addition that has a modern communications center, modern offices for the officers, the executive officers, new dressing rooms for the officers, and intake rooms. And I know the judge and the DA will be glad to know it has all the modern facilities for the video and audio taping of those interrogations, and the new intox center, new vault for the evidence room. So greatly improved facilities for them as well. Also in the past year, we created the City of Dallas Marshal's Office. We had a sworn officer within the police department that was involved in code enforcement, but we found it became a conflict sometimes with the police duties, and we needed to segregate those duties out. And so we created the Marshal's Office. I like to call it a quality of life office. They enforce the building codes, and we also instituted this year the International Property Maintenance Code, which helps ensure that homeowners can maintain their investment and that they don't have to deal with the neglect of a neighbor or an absentee landlord, particularly in an environment when there are so many foreclosures. It gives us the opportunity to go in and require those properties to be kept up and to take action if they fail to do so. And also we've partnered with the public. Girl Scout Troop 624 last month presented us a check for $1,000 to buy a bulletproof vest for Ruger, our K-9 officer. You don't think about the dangers as much for those, but there's a lot of money invested there, and those girls worked real hard, and we appreciate the opportunity to work with our community and to accept those kind of benefits. And I will also say, I'm sure mention will be made of it, but on Saturday, we'll be celebrating Public Safety Appreciation Day at the airport, and hope that all of you will turn out to show your appreciation for all of those who put themselves in harm's way to protect our life and our property here in this community. On parks and recreation, our cultural affairs, we have received worldwide acclaim for our purchase of over 160 acres of the former Dallas battlefield site. I had no idea when we began to look at the property how important it would be in the overall scheme nationally of preservation. And shortly after that deal was consummated, the Civil War Trust contacted me, and Dallas was featured in their spring publication that evidently it is one of the largest public preservation efforts in the country in the last few years. And that battlefield site is the site where the Orphan Brigade charged the federal line. It is well known among Civil War enthusiasts, and it still contains the trenches, and a lot of the historical assets are present. Those will be preserved. We have just chosen the designer for the trail system that will wind its way through those hills and through the park to show off historical assets. And also it has an ecotourism component as well, a lot of natural areas that will tie in with Sarabab Park. We will continue to improve Sarabab. We're working on a master plan to make all of that connect and functional. We have completed the Civil War Memorial Trailhead Park in downtown Dallas, the one with the fountain, and we will be dedicating that probably within the next couple of months now that all the paperwork is finished. And the Trailhead Spur sidewalk that comes from the Silver Comet will be completed within the next month or so. So folks will be able to get off in Dallas and come into town, hopefully to shop and to eat, and then eventually, with the new park, they'll be able to connect over into the Civil War Park and into Sarabab. By the end of the year, we will have completed our requirements to become a Tree City USA. Some people may think, what's the importance of that? Again, it goes back to quality of life. It helps improve our air quality and the aesthetics, and we're very excited about that opportunity. And with that, we have partnered with Paulding County Rotary Club. Justin Fuller is the president of the club, and came to me about a month ago with their idea to plant 100 trees in the city of Dallas. And so in early winter, we'll begin that process, and we're going to plant trees along the south end of Hardy Street in front of Dallas Elementary School and the school board facilities there, along Henry Holland Drive, and along Nathan Dean Boulevard next to Chattahoochee Tech. So it'll help improve the overall landscape and the aesthetics of the city. And our theater continues to be a great success. And if there's one thing I'm most proud of in my term as mayor, it is the purchase and the renovation of that facility. Last month, Travis Tripp was there for a performance for Sheriff Gary Gullidge, and he made a big to-do about how nice it was, and that he couldn't believe that it was there in the city of Dallas. So I encourage you, if you've not been, to take that opportunity and go and participate. That the provision of public arts and entertainment, the fine arts, is one of the key ingredients to developing the quality of life in the community and to the vibrancy of downtown and to its future. On transportation, we've completed the sidewalk projects on North Johnston Street to connect to Herschel Jones Middle School, to give the kids a safe route to school. Polk Avenue connects our northwesternmost neighborhoods with downtown and the sidewalk. And then on East Memorial, many of you passed that sidewalk today. A lot of folks say, where does it go? It goes to the library, it goes to the park. It provides a sidewalk for all those residents on East Memorial that have never had that opportunity. And if you pass by in the evenings, you'll see a lot of folks walking, and it's all designed to contribute to the walkability and the livability of downtown Dallas. We also finally got to reopen Seaboard Drive. We had some major drainage problems down there, some problems that have been there for 50 years or more, and it takes time to do, but hopefully those things have been worked out, and when we move to Johnston Street, we'll be better in tune with what we need to do there. For economic development, Charlie Watts Drive was named in the early part of the year, and he's been a big impetus to economic development in the city. Chick-fil-A, Walgreens, and Waffle House have opened there. Across the road, the Taco Bell opened, and that amounts to about $4 million in capital investment in the city of Dallas this year. To us, in the light of recent years, it's a big boom in commercial construction permits. It provided over 100 jobs for local folks, and we're excited about the opportunities that it provides, and there's still some lots available. And I guess the most important thing is to note that that is a public-private partnership, that when the city of Dallas agreed to work with the developer, we created a city street that they could use to gain access to Highway 61 and to Highway 278. The DOT would not grant it to a private owner. So our position was that we would fund the street, that we would allow them to build the street and take ownership of it, and that's how they were able to parcel up the property and develop it. And it's the same concept we used on the lot where Kroger is. The extension of Thomas B. Murphy Drive allowed that extra entrance and allowed access to the property, and that probably is our biggest economic center in the city of Dallas. I'm glad to have the folks from Kennesaw State here today. We have about 102 students this semester enrolled in Kennesaw State. We have over 400 enrolled at Georgia Highlands College, and we expect those numbers to grow as the years progress. Chattahoochee Tech also has a record enrollment this year. So higher education is growing and thriving in Dallas, and I believe that it will be a driver of the economic development of the downtown area in the years to come. That is a partnership between us and the county and the colleges individually to provide that space. And when those buildings became vacant, I said the one thing I want to do is I want to provide opportunity for our local students and our local professionals to gain an education without having to leave the county. I want teachers and nurses and other professionals to be able to go there for continuing education and not have to drive 40 or 60 or 100 miles, where they can be closer to home and to their families and their jobs and be more a part of the community. The other interesting thing to note is I have a cousin, Jake Hammett, is a junior at North Paulding High School. And Jake is one of the few students this year participating in the joint enrollment program. As an 11th grader, he leaves at noon, or maybe 11 every day, and he goes to Georgia Highlands 2 days a week, and he's taking 2 college classes each semester. So by the time he finishes his senior year, he will have achieved 8 semester college credits. An invaluable and indispensable tool, helps save money on tuition, but also gives them the groundwork to be able to know the rigors of college and be prepared to face what a 4-year college entails. So I'm excited about the opportunity that's provided by our colleges and the efforts at higher learning. We've added about 60 spaces in the last month, downtown parking spaces. I think everybody wants to park in the front door, but it's about as close as you can get. Most of the ladies walk further at the mall, and most of the gentlemen walk farther at a football game to their parking, so we're excited about that. We also have 3 new businesses in downtown Dallas. Davis & Company is a hair salon that opened on the square. A Sweet Life Bakery. If you haven't been there, you need to go. Lots of good stuff. And then most recently, Crazy Daisy. And we're excited about the opportunities that they have and to see that businesses are located in the downtown sector. We talk about the city of Dallas or the city of Hiram or Paulding County. And I think it's important to note that like no man is an island unto himself, neither can any city or any county be an island unto themselves or stand alone, that it takes cooperation and teamwork, as I said earlier. We all have an interdependence, and that is exacerbated here by the fact that we share an equal portion of the sales taxes, of the SPLOST, the lost, and those taxes. So what's good for one helps all of us. If jobs are located in the county, that means that our residents have less time they have to drive away, or fewer residents have to leave the county. So I'm excited about that partnership. We have to think on a regional basis. Ford talked about me being chair of the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District. Say that fast. But that draws attention to the fact that we are all connected outside of city limits and county boundaries. The water district is 15 counties, more than 90 cities, and 4 million people. All of the natural assets that we have in regard to water are controlled by that board. And I think it would be a strong fact to say that we have one of the outlying counties that has a position on that board to govern the policy and to make sure that it is adequate and affordable for the local governments. We're talking about the movies. Carolyn's talking about the premiere Footloose. About a year and a half ago, I came back from the GMA meeting and said, there's this designation called Camera Ready. And a lot of people are taking advantage of it, and it helps move you along in the process. And the chamber picked up that mantle, and the county worked with them. And now Paulding County is a camera-ready community, that people know the assets that are available, that when they get ready to come in and film, they know how things are going to work. And in fact, I think it's next week or so, there's going to be a rolling roadblock on Highway 278 for the filming of a new movie here. So that's about the fourth one in a year that's formed portions of a movie in Paulding County. That's an example of the cooperation between our leaders and the relationships that we have to be able to do something that works for all people. Yesterday we met and finished a plan for an opportunity zone between Paulding County and the city of Dallas. It is a state plan that uses underdeveloped and, quote, blighted areas to get the best tax credits for the creation of new business or redevelopment. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything within the district is bad, but that a significant portion qualifies it for us to be able to apply for those tax credits. Dallas had the census tracts that were qualifiers for that. And so we're going to partner with the county to reach along the 278 corridor to create new business opportunities for everybody. Another great success of the last year that's been about 3 years in the making is our Economic Development Office. Jamie Gilbert. Jamie's here, raise your hand. Jamie's at Leadership Paulding. But this has been about a 3-year process, a partnership with the City of Dallas, the City of Hiram, Paulding County, the Industrial Building Authority, and the Chamber of Commerce to fund this organization. And we deliberately made it an independent organization, that we took the political leadership out of it, that it would be something that would benefit all citizens, that it couldn't be misconstrued in any way to have personal gain for anybody. Earlier in the year, they hired Jamie Gilbert as executive director, and last week he announced the relocation of National Envelope Company to Hiram. It brings 25 jobs immediately and grow to 40 over the next year or so, next couple of years. Those are the kind of things our partnership will help to define for the future of this county. We can't sit idly by in times of economic distress and say, woe is me. We have to do the duty that lies nearest. And once we do that, then we can move on to the next. That action will promote action and growth. We worked with the county on a new or a revised sewer service delivery area. And taking some heat about that from some quadrants in the political field, but basically we have doubled the service area for the city of Dallas. We will run a trunk line that runs to the airport, and then we'll be able to serve anything that comes into that district through the next several years. It helps guarantee a revenue stream for us. It is an enterprise fund for the city of Dallas, but it also provides the infrastructure for industry to come to Paulding County, and to come particularly to that airport corridor. It did not cost $6 million, it's less than $2 million, and we did fund it with some of the bond money that we took last year under the Build America bonds, but it is an investment in our future that will pay off for decades to come. There are a lot of other things I could talk about. Some of them are the unfunded mandates that are passed to us by our federal and state governments, a lot of the water regulations, floodplain mapping, you name it. They tell us to do it, but they don't send us the money. So we have to be good stewards. We have to be able to keep our permits, but we also wind up paying the tab. So that's one thing that we continue to fight in the State House and the federal government, is that if they're going to demand something, that they pay for it. And then finally, we had some things that came to fruition after a long period of time. After 13 years, we finally started getting water out of our wells and into the City of Dallas water supply. Between the time of the studies and the drilling and everything that went with it and the slow process of government, they finally came online within the last year. And I think we finally got a permit to repair the dam that was destroyed in the flood 2 years ago. Been through the whole process trying to find the money, something that we didn't own, and it took us a long time to get to that point, and then they tried to thwart it again. But we deal constantly with that question from state government about unfunded mandates. We will continue to fight for the home rule for cities. Hiram has been a great partner with us in GMA. That we know that every city is unique, like every individual is, and that one size does not fit all. And if the federal government and the state government will quit meddling in our business and they'll take care of their own business, we're much better able to run ours. So with that, I'll conclude, and I thank you for your attention and for your attendance today.
Thank you, Mayor Austin. Next, we'll hear from the City of Hiram. Jack is currently serving on an interim basis until December of this year. Prior to this, he served as the city's mayor pro tem since January 2008, and he's been a city councilman since January 1996. He is qualified for mayor and is unopposed in this year's election, so he looks forward to a 4-year term starting in January. In addition to his service in city government, Jack has worked in the Paulding County school system for over 20 years. He's been a physical education teacher as well as a middle school football, basketball, and softball coach. Jack's been teaching at Allgood Elementary for the past 13 years. Jack also serves on the boards of the Paulding County Chamber, Industrial Building Authority, the Airport Authority, and the Meth Alliance of Paulding. Jack, and the time he's not in school or serving the city, and his wife Terry take care of and spoil their 3 grandchildren. Please give a warm welcome to Jack Harris.
I'm not sure I'm ready for this. My speech starts out, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the City of Hiram. I just want to stop right there, though, because there are 2 things wrong with this picture. The first thing wrong with this picture, if you know me, is that I've got a suit on instead of shorts and a t-shirt and tennis shoes. The second thing is I'm talking to a room full of adults, very important adults to me, instead of a room full of elementary kids who are also very important to me. But the thing that's like, that the resemblance is that, like my elementary school teachers, y'all probably aren't going to hear anything I say either. So I'm not too worried about that. I got a couple of stories before I start, because this is my passion as elementary school students. Last year I was in a PE class in the gym, and I've been talking, and teaching, and the little first grader comes up to me and said, "Mr. Harris," he said, "where do you work?" I've had them to ask me, did you really have to go to college to be able to teach us to run around and play? And the cutest one was this year. First grade was leaving, and they were hot and sweaty. This little boy came up to me. I've never heard this before in my life. First grade now. And he said, Mr. Harris, I'm sweating like a turkey in November. So, if you have children, you need to listen to them, just like Bill Cosby used to do his programs where he had children to talk to. They're so funny. But that's one of my passions. My other passion is the city of Hiram. I've been a lifelong resident of Paulding County. Out of my 58 years, I've been in Paulding County for 48 of them, I guess. 2011 it's been a challenging year for us in the city of Hiram, but we made it through. We made it through because of our citizens, because of our employees, our city staff, everybody that has to do with the city. I was very fortunate to serve under two different mayors. The first mayor was Dewey Penny, if you've been around long enough to know him. He would not spend a dime that he didn't have to. He would send SPLOST money back to the county rather than spend it. I never could understand that. And then we had the second mayor that I was able to serve under was Carmen Rollins, who had a vision for our city. And I tell people that if it hadn't been for Dewey Penley 5 years ago, up until that point, our city would not have been where it was then. And now, if it hadn't been for Carmen Rollins, our city would not be where it is today. And my goal is, after this next 4 years, or however long I'm able to serve as mayor, my goal is for people to be able to say, he made a difference. Don't know that I can, but I'm going to do my very best. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the people of the city that are here with me. We all stand up. If you're in the city, we have I'm not going to introduce his name because I'll forget somebody's name. But anyway, we have Jason Freeman from Hiram High School here. Will you stand up, Jason? Okay, thank you. These people, as I said, I talked about Carmen. She hired some of the best employees that could possibly be hired in the city of Hiram. And because of that, it makes me able to do my job because, as you know, I'm a full-time, y'all can sit down, y'all understand. As you know, I'm a full-time physical education teacher, and I'm also a full-time mayor. You know, it says it's part-time, but it's a full-time job.
Part-time pay.
Part-time pay, yeah. And that's where my passion is. My first passion is with students, and then my other passion is with the city of Hiram. I'm going to begin with a review. You know, that David Boyd's, or David, what is one his name? Boyd, it's going to be a hard act to follow. He's done a lot of speeches in his years, but I'm going to do the best I can. Y'all just bear with me. I'm going to begin with a quick review of our police department. Gary Yondura is our police chief. He came to us from College Park. He's been with us for about a year and a half, and he's done an awesome job. Just a fantastic job. He's turned our police force around, and he's responsible for a lot of things that have gone on in our city for the last year and a half. We hosted our first national night out in Ben Hill Strickland Park on October the 2nd, 2011, with the intent of building community awareness, relationships, and education about the police, sheriffs, and other emergency support services. This event was a complete success. We had people from the city, we had firemen, we had people from the county, we had law enforcement agencies from the state, we had state patrol there. It was just a fantastic night. It was all funded through, we didn't have to put any money into it. It was all funded through different organizations. Target was a big supporter, SAMS was a big supporter, and that was a big success for our new police chief. We're also revitalizing our DARE program at Hiram Elementary School. We didn't have a DARE program for a couple of years, and then we hired a new GCI person, or a code enforcement person, Larry Kaminsky. He came in and he quickly took the program over. He trained and prepared for the program. It's where his heart was, and from the time he came in till the end of the year last year, he taught and mentored all of the 5th grade students and made a lasting impression on them as they venture into middle school. And if you know anything about elementary kids, when they venture into middle school, it's a big step forward. He also received a lot of praise from the school itself and from Paul Weiler, the principal. Also, we improved our Police Explorer program. Our Police Explorer program is a big program in our city. We did a recruitment demonstration at South Paulding High School. They also participated in the National Explorer competition in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where they scored very highly in that competition for the first time. They also applied for and received a grant from Greystone Power Corporation for their programs within the community. We, as everybody else, funding is low, but we were able to put into service several seized vehicles. We had a 2011 Toyota Tundra donated to us. That was the responsible person for that was Larry Kaminsky. He went to them. This is a brand new 2011 Toyota Tundra, and it was donated to the city of Hiram free of charge. And they've had the logo, the DARE logo, put on the side of it. We saw it yesterday. It's going to be an awesome vehicle. We're implementing, or our chief has implemented the City Police Academy. And what this is, it gives the residents and business owners the opportunity to completely interact with the other police departments, or with our police department. It's a 9-week program with a practical exercise curriculum. What it does, it teaches regular people like you and me what a policeman's life really is. You know, we all think that what they do is sit on the side of the road and give tickets. You know, but there's a lot and drink coffee, as my wife just said. But, you know, they do a lot of other, she told me not to embarrass her. But I'll tell you what, if there's anywhere, any time that she can embarrass me, if you know her, you'll do it. It doesn't matter who's there. I don't even know what I was talking about now. But anyway, the Citizens Police Academy, it's a great way for people in our community to learn what policemen really do, what their lives involve. They will be able to ride along with one of our police officers. They'll get to know them all personally. They're also going to go to the shooting range, I think, and be able to shoot with our police officers. We've previously partnered with Greystone Subdivision in starting a neighborhood watch program. The word of this success has spread, and we are now partnering with Creekside Country Club. Highland Falls and Barrett Chase subdivisions are in the process of setting up similar programs. In addition, we have provided a crime prevention program partnering with the Secret Service for our business community during the holiday season. We are currently receiving grant funding which enable us to replace our officers' bulletproof vests, in addition to trading in all of our old Glock pistols for brand new Glock Generation 4 pistols, and I think we got a really fantastic deal on those. I don't know what it was for sure, but also our officers have recently been certified and are now carrying tasers, which provide a less lethal use of force when warranted during physical confrontation. Does anybody know how you have to be certified to carry a taser? Does anybody know? You have to be tasered. You have to be tasered in order to be able to carry one. So there's one day that upstairs in our police department, they're tasering all the police officers. They got it all on video. You know, if you treated an animal like that, you'd be put in jail for the rest of your life. But it was funny. And finally, during the last few months, we've begun participating with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety Traffic Enforcement Program in preparation of requesting grant funding. As part of this program, we have started conducting DUI safety road checks, which have been very successful, enabling our officers to get drunk drivers and wanted people off our streets. One of our sergeants, y'all need to stay away from him because he received an award from MAD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, for his role in arresting 51 drunk drivers in the past year. 51 drunk drivers. So that's I think that's all he must have done, look for drunk drivers. But anyway, moving on to Public Works, Jody Palmer is our Public Works person. They are continuing the day-to-day operations of the city. We completed a renovation of our City Hall, police station this past year. We're combined, we're in one building. We put an upstairs and we made it a lot bigger so that everybody will be more comfortable in there. We've corrected several deficiencies during the stormwater along Fitzgerald Street, Dallas Street, Center Street, and also Nebo Road. We are continuing to improve our Ben Hill Strickland Park. If you've been there and seen our amphitheater and everything that we've got going on. But if you've looked at our playground, we have a lot of outdated equipment, and we're going to update that this year and hopefully have a place for the children to play and have a good time. Okay, we're also in the process of redeveloping our Regions Bank building. We purchased the Regions Bank building there in downtown Hiram, across from the Hill Circle Park. We're renovating it to make it a citizen center, a multi-use citizen center. And there's some things that are going on there that I can't talk about right now, but maybe in a few weeks we can. That's it's very exciting for our city. As far as from the city clerk, Terry Graham is the department head of the main part of the city, and they're continuing to handle the day-to-day operations also. We are working under a SAVE program, which is a systematic alien verification for entitlements. This bill assures that the businesses and benefits used and provided by the city comply with this program. We also passed a resolution department with the Department of Revenue to provide sales tax identification to ensure that sales tax is collected and reported properly. You know, we just take it for granted that we're getting all the sales tax that we're supposed to be getting, but that's not necessarily always true. So that's what they're helping us with. Let's see. We've changed our city hall hours from we were open from 8:30 to 5:30. Now our hours are from 8 to 5, which really helps out people that need to come in earlier. We're also staying open during lunch. That helps people that need to come by in those hours. The last year we introduced a new benefits package, which saved the city approximately $100,000 a year and gave the employees more benefits that included vision, long-term disability, short-term disability, and additional life insurance. We are currently working on a new employee handbook. We're reviewing our ordinances and working to codify them to make them more accessible to the public. And we're working to update our city charter. Hiram is, as y'all know, we're always on the move to do something. We have we had our first city cleanup day in the spring. We had over 100 people there that helped pick up trash. We're having another one in November. It helps with and we're partnering with Fox Environmental and Keep Paulding Beautiful and Rivers Alive organizations to make this event really effective for our city. At Ben Hill Strickland Park, we had several concerts this year. We had the local country band Dallas. We had The Return, which is a Beatles remake band. We also had The Glow, which they did the Salute to the Stars and Stripes fireworks show. They played for 2.5 hours in 90+ degree heat, and I don't know how they did it, but they did. If you haven't been to one of our fireworks shows, they just seem to get bigger and better every year. They're just, I don't know if I just think they are because I'm there, but they do. They just really get, they're really good. We're also very involved with the school systems. I talked to you a little bit about Hiram Elementary. We are involved highly with Hiram High School, the Hornets, and that's another one of my passions. If you were here in the 60s, like David and I were, you know that there were 3 high schools in the county. There was Hiram High School, there was Dallas High School, and there was Matthews. And they were talking about rivalries. There were a lot of rivalries. I spent the first 10.5 years of my school at Hiram, where Hiram Elementary School is now. That was actually the only school there was in Hiram. It was a K through 12th grade high school, or school. We consolidated in, I guess, 1969, and we had a lot of baseball, basketball. We didn't have football at Hiram, but we did have basketball and baseball, and there was a lot of conflict going on at the time. But because of that, that's where my passion is, Hiram High School. I graduated from Paulding County High School, but with James Osborne and I graduated together. Had a lot of good times together. Hard to believe he's a judge. But anyway, he's a good friend to have when you need that. You can watch him sitting up on sitting up there where he sits with his robe on, and if you know him really, he's a good guy, fantastic guy, good friend to have. But anyway, back to the schools. Hiram High School on October the 14th, it's going to be the City of Hiram staff night. Only bad problem is we're playing East Paulding, and they're just whipping everybody this year. But anyway, it's also the annual Pink Out Night. The Hornet organization, the Hiram Ruritan Complex, is working with our youth programs. The City of Hiram also offered the first 8-week summer camp program this year with the support of Kathy Spencer, who was our coordinator, who was also a bus driver. We also had another worker that was a bus driver, and because of that, we went on field trips twice a week. We had the county gave us a bus to use for the summer, and they just had a good time. And we're planning on having another one this year with hopefully up to 50 children in it. Our last event of the year is our, which is probably one of the favorite ones, is our Christmas tree lighting, and this year it'll be on Friday night, December the 2nd. As Boyd talked about earlier, our economic development organization is a big part of our county now. It brought in, it's bringing in businesses. I have Jim Croft. Will you stand up, Jim? Not Jim, I'm sorry, Hugh Smith. I get them mixed up. Are there any other EDO members here? Are there any other? Can you stand up? If you're on the economic development board, stand up from different areas. These guys volunteer their time and effort to represent their different areas. And Jamie Gilbert has come in. He offered to write my speech for me, but I know y'all don't have an hour to stand up here. But what was comical about Jamie, if you remember, they have project names. And if you know about the new company that came in, this nationwide envelope, the project name is Project Stamp. Thought it was kind of comical. They don't want people to know what the name of the company is, because other people will be trying to get them too. But in closing, there were 2 men in my life that, not necessarily in my life, but there were 2 guys that had an impact on my feelings of life. They had no idea who either one of them was. The first one was my father-in-law, who I worked with for 15 years in the timber business. And the other one was Nick Hyde. If you've ever heard of him, he was a football coach at Valdosta High School for many years. He won state championships, probably won more football games than anybody in the area. But the 2 men never knew each other, had no contact. But what they said was, and it's ironic because it's nearly word for word. It says it doesn't matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter what kind of job you have, whether you're a ditch digger or maybe a garbage man or whatever it is. What matters is that you do the very best that you can. Whatever your job is, make it be the best at it. Don't let anybody beat you at the job that you have. And I'm looking out here at people in all different walks of life, and that's my goal with my teaching. That's my goal with the city. I'm not going to profess to be the best mayor, because I probably won't be, but my goal is to be the very best mayor that I can possibly be for the city of Hiram. Thank you.
I thought you were calling for non-code.
No. I didn't sign up for questions. Any quick question, anybody, before we leave today? Yes.
I have a question for Jack. How did you get to be mayor?
I'll tell you what, James. How'd you become judge? It wasn't my choice.
Can you talk about Academy Sports?
Oh, yeah, a couple of things about Academy Sports. There's a benefit and there's a downside to that. We lost our last grocery store in Hiram, which was Kroger. We still have Target and Sam's and Walmart, but they're not true grocery stores. The upside of that is Academy Sports and Outdoors is coming in. They leveled the building, the whole building, and they're going to build a whole building new, and that's a big plus for our city of Hiram and for the county. Also, one of my goals, and I've talked to Jamie and some of other people, is to bring some grocery chain into Hiram that we don't have. We have Publix, they left, and Kroger, but we don't want to keep the city without a grocery store.
You can come to Dallas. We got a
Well, we would like to thank both of y'all for coming and giving us a state of the city addresses today, and wonderful news to hear from both cities. And Jack, here's something for you, Terry.
I think Terry needs
I'm an elementary school teacher. If you know about elementary school teachers, there are very few men there. So when the staff gets presents, this is usually what I get. I'll give Terry that, whatever this is.
Boy, thank you.
Thank you. Now, Ford did say that Jack was unopposed, but I'm not, and I'd appreciate you voting.
Boyd said that in the past, they always let the prettiest person go first.
So we continued that today.
Thank y'all very much.